So now, just like before, the mid-segment is a segment with endpoints that are the midpoints of two sides of the triangle. Okay, so we have a segment with endpoints that are the midpoints of two sides of the triangle. So you can go ahead and draw a triangle when you're done. Doesn't matter what kind of triangle. Yours doesn't have to be the same as mine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a triangle. I'm going to draw you the mid-segment, and I'm going to show you what this means. So as soon as you're done writing all this, draw a triangle so that I can show you what the mid-segment and what all of this nice wording means. So is there anybody still copying before I move on? Okay. So if we have a triangle, any kind of triangle, doesn't matter what kind of triangle we've got. So if I have a triangle, what it tells me is that I'm going to have a mid-segment. Now remember when we did trapezoids, the mid-segment was the line that cuts it through here, okay, and it has endpoints, okay, and what did those endpoints do? Okay, split it in half. These were your midpoints to the sides of the line. Okay, so what it does is it cuts each one of those sides of your triangle basically in half. So when you've got this midpoint of your mid-segment, you now have this piece congruent to this piece, and you've got this piece congruent to this piece. Now the two sides do not have to be the same, so I cannot necessarily tell you that this side is going to be equal to this side, because I don't know what kind of triangle we've got. All I can tell you is that this piece is equal to this piece, and this piece is equal to this piece. That's all I can tell you at this point. And of course, the line through the middle is your mid-segment. So when that mid-segment comes through, it creates the midpoints on each end that now divides each side of your triangle into two congruent pieces. Okay, so does anybody need to go to the bathroom real quick before we move on? So everybody's good? Okay. So we're going to work several of these and just see what happens. So if I give you a triangle, what you've got I'm going to start you off with something easy. You got triangle KL and M. My mid segment here is going to be GH. I know that the mid segment is, let's say it's 8, and I want to know what X is down here. I'm going to start you off with a couple of easy ones as I explain what's happening. Now, what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to give you the formulas here. Now, when you're dealing with the triangle here, you have basically two formulas. They're the same, but they're a little bit rearranged. If you want to find the mid-segment, if you're looking to find the mid-segment, what you got to do is you got to take half of whatever the base is. Okay, that's that 0.5. Okay, or put, the fraction 1/2 into your calculator. So if I want to find the mid-segment, if I want to know what this equals, I'm going to take half of whatever the base is. If I want to find the base, then I want to do 2 times whatever the mid-segment is. Those are the two formulas that I need to remember. The mid-segment is half of whatever the base is, and the base is 2 times whatever the mid-segment is. Now, all you've got to do is use those two to solve what you're looking at. So in your problem, the 8 is which one? The mid-segment. So I gave you the mid-segment. The X is which one? The base. So you're going to be trying to find the base. So that means you're going to use this one. The base is this bottom one. So plug them in. So if I want to find the base, all I'm going to do is put this in where the mid-segment is. So it's going to be double whatever this is. So what is 2 times whatever your mid-segment is? In this case, 2 times 8. It's going to be 16. So all I had to do on this one was simply do 2 times 8, and my answer is 6. Because I'm doing 2 times whatever this is. Because I need to find the base. This is my base. This is my mid-segment.
This is confusing.
Mute yourself because we can hear you. Okay, so we're trying to find the base. So all I had to do was 2 times this, and I have my answer. Now that's easy as long as I've got whole numbers. Not so easy if I put in a bunch of letters. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, so let's try another one. So this time I've got, let's see, ABC, okay, so let's say I give you this now. So this time, I've given you triangle ABC. I've told you that the mid-segment here, the mid-segment, the segment in the middle, is X. I don't know what it is. But I told you that the base is 30. Now, what did I tell you to do if you want to find the mid-segment?
You have to half the base.
You have to half it. So all I have to do is half this, or multiply it by 1/2, multiply it by 0.5. That's all you got to do. So all I have to do on this one is 1/2 times 30, and it's going to tell me what my answer is. Or like I said, divide it by 2. And it's going to tell me my answer is what? 15. Because I need half. My mid-segment is always half of what this is. So I'm done. So if you have simple, regular whole numbers, it's not that hard. The mid-segment is always half of this, or you take the base and you double this. So that makes 2 times whatever this is. So you got to remember which one you're doing. Are you taking half or are you multiplying it by 2? Any questions if it's whole numbers before I put in letters? Okay. So if I give you another triangle, and let's say this time I have triangle HIJ. My mid-segment is UT here. But this time on my mid-segment, it is going to be 2x plus 27. 2x plus 27. The base is going to be x plus 24. Now, of course, all we want to do is find x. All we want to do is find x. So what can we do with these two that's going to help us find x? Because we already know our 2 forms, the only 2 forms that we can use. So what's going to be the easiest to use? Multiply the mid-segment by 2. You can't really take half of an x. Okay? But you can multiply everything by 2, regardless of what you got. So, which one of these am I going to multiply by 2? Okay, which is the top one. So I'm going to multiply this by 2 and set it equal to this one. Because it takes 2 of these to equal this. So, set it up. Y'all have got to mute yourself unless you are asking a question. There's no reason it should come in and out. So I'm going to put this in parentheses, So it should be 2 times the 2x plus 27, because it takes 2 of these and now set it equal to the base. And then all you gotta do is solve. But again, you gotta be careful because one mistake is gonna mess this whole problem up. So do your distributive. So if I do my distributive, what is 2 times 2x? 4x. 2 times 27 is 54. And that's going to equal my x plus 24. So now all you got to do is move. Again, I like my letters in the front. So I'm going to move this x to the front. So I'm subtracting x or 1x. So 4 minus 1 is going to be 3x plus 54 equals 24. So now, what do I do?
Subtract 54.
Move the 54 back by subtracting it. So now it's 3x equals
Negative 30.
-30. So when I divide by 3, x is going to equal -10. So again, it's not really complicated, it's just making sure that you set them up correctly. Again, if you miss multiply, if you miss add or subtract, then of course your whole problem is gone. So, any questions, any problems? Yes?
Pastor, never mind. I'm gonna just wait till you do it.
Well, how do you know I'm going to do it?
I don't know.
Well, you might better ask.
No, I understand the problem. I was just skipping ahead. Never mind.
Now, remember, you can be asked to plug these back in.
That's what I was talking
So that's where we're fixing to head to. So I'm going to give you one more of these where you've got to solve for x, and then we're going to head to plugging them back in. Okay, so this time they're going to turn our triangle. Okay, so here's our triangle this time. We know that this is x minus 3, and we know this is 2x minus 12. So again, I need you to find x.
about. You want to do it by yourself?
Yes. So see if you can find x by yourself real quick. See what happens. If you get stuck, just stop and I will answer it in just a minute. it up correctly. Make sure that you have solved for x. Okay, is everybody finished? Okay, what did we get for x? 7. Did everybody get 7? Okay, what was your problem? And I'm only asking for the problem. How did you set it up?
7 times 2x minus 12
Okay, 2 times 2x minus 12 equals the x minus 3. Now, could you have done the 1/2?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still got the same answer?
Yes. Because you could have taken half. What were we taking half of?
2x and 12.
Okay. I mean, it depends. Some of them you can do both ways. It depends on what you want to use. If you get more comfortable using the 2 times, that's fine. But some of them you cannot do 1/2 of, and there's just no way around it. I mean, it just depends what you got. So, you gotta look at it. But, I mean, if you're, like I said, if you're more comfortable doing 2 times every time, don't switch. Okay, because I don't want you to switch and then mess it up and then end up creating a big problem. Okay, so any questions? Okay, so let's go ahead and use this one. You've already found out that if you solve this one, you're going to get x equals 7. Now, all you'll have to do is simply say, okay, so now that you know x equals 7, what if I tell you that I want you to find, okay, so what if I label these to you? The mid-segment, what if I label them AB? Okay, so what if I come back and I say, now I want you to find AB? So just like we've done 100 times before, now that I know X, how do I find AB? Just plug it back in. So AB is the 2x minus 12. So plug it back in and it becomes 2 times 7 minus 12. So that's now 14 minus 12, which is 2. So a lot of yours is just going to be read. Read the questions. Are they asking for X or are they asking you to plug it back in and find an answer? It just depends. But either way, you still have to find X. You can't avoid X. Okay? So I'm going to give you one, and you actually have to plug X back in on this one. So you're not going to quit on X on this one. So on this particular problem, okay, so I've got my triangle here. My triangle is FGH. My mid-segment is WX. I know that this piece down here is X plus 18. I know this piece is 2X plus 24. Now, I want you to find, I'm going to put it right here, find FH WX. So I want you to find both. So I want you to find both lines for me. So do I have to find X first? Yes. So you need to find X first and then plug it back into both lines because I need both answers. You don't get this. That's not right. Negative or equal? Okay, we should have answers. First of all, what was x? X should have been negative 10. So if we did this correctly, we should have found out that x equaled negative 10. So if we plug that back in to what we were supposed to, we should have found out that fh was what? 8. And then we should have found out that wx was what? 4. So these are the three that you should have. So now a couple of you I found had some mistakes, but most of it revolved around this right here. If you messed up in x, well then of course these two were going to be wrong. So are there any questions from anybody who missed anything on these three? So you've got to be very careful on x. If x comes out wrong, then you will miss anything else when you plug it back in. So it doesn't matter if you miss a sign, because there is a difference between 10 and negative 10. Because that means you're either adding 10 or you are subtracting 10. And there is a difference. So any questions? Okay, now we gotta find wherever I put. That's not what I'm looking for. How do I lose something standing here? There it is. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple of these off the worksheet that I worked on yesterday in class with you before I turn around and give you your homework page, just to make sure we've got everything all cleared up. So real quick, you don't have to draw this if you don't want to. All you really need to do is just answer the question. So here on this first one, you've got triangle QRS. You've got your mid-segment, and they are telling you that the mid-segment is 11. So if the mid-segment is 11, what is SQ going to be?
Oh, no. Half of, no. Wait, the mid segment is half of.
The mid-segment's here. What is SQ going to be?
26.
Hey, what did I tell you? It's going to be,
Half of the mix.
it's half of the base, so that means to get the base, I need to multiply it by 2. So all I needed to do was 2 times 11 to get my answer. So that tells me my answer is 22.
That's it.
Yeah, because it's the same thing I gave you a while ago. If I give you the mid-segment, you multiply it by 2. If I give you the base, you divide it by 2. So you got to know which one I'm giving. So now, look at number 20. This time I gave you which one? This time I gave you the base. I gave you the longer piece. So if you need to find the mid-segment, you divide by 2. So this time I need to find the smaller piece. So if I need to find the smaller piece, I need to do 22 divided by 2. So now this one's going to be 11. So I've got to know, am I going to the bigger piece and multiplying, or am I going to the smaller piece and dividing? So you're going to get some of those to practice on in a few minutes. So that's the first thing, multiplying or dividing. So that's the first piece. So then your second piece is going to be down here, like number 25, same thing that we just got through doing. So again, your job is to solve for x.
You want to do it?
Yes, so right now, see if you can solve this one for x. Same exact problems that we just got through doing. So they've given you this triangle, they've told you that one of them is 2x minus 13, the other one is x minus 2. So I need to know x only. So I'm solving for just x. So solve for just x. So if everybody's okay, we'll do one more where you gotta plug it back in, and then I'll go ahead and give you your homework, let you get started. And then some of you will be done before you ever walk out. So far, everything looks good for most of you. Okay, so on 25 here, what should we have gotten for x? 8. So x should be 8. Is there anybody who did not get 8 that I need to work this for? Whether you're at home online or you're here, either one. Because if you did not get x equals 8, I need to know before we move on. So everybody's good, because the next part is going to be just the plugging in. So everybody's good.
You showed me, we about to start on homework after this?
In just a minute, we're going to do one more. Okay. Now we're going to do number 34 here. So this time around, your job is to find PR. So PR is this one. So you've got 2x plus 4, you've got 2x minus 5, and your job is to plug it back in once you find x and tell me what PR equals. So find x, plug it back in. While you are working on that, I'm going to be working on going ahead and posting your homework. So that way you can go ahead and get started as soon as we are done.